Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to the Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. Today, we're featuring Brian Kortovich. He's a powerhouse in the world of sports and entertainment. He's best known as the founder of ACES, a brand that's rapidly rewriting the script on what it means to connect sports, music, and culture. His journey from Cleveland to playing basketball professionally around the globe and ultimately founding ACES is one of pure grit and relentless vision. From street courts to partnering with icons like Nike and NBA 2K, Brian is more than just a businessman. He's a game changer with a message of ambition and universal connection. Welcoming now to the show is the amazing founder of ACES, Brian. Welcome, superstar.
Thank you, Zen. I appreciate that. I'm going to have you introduce me every time I come out on the platform. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Glad to be there.
listen, this is exciting to have you on. Now, I'm going to go into some statistics here, but according to recent studies, over 70% of Americans report struggling to find purpose in their daily lives. So, with that kind of existential struggle, the concept of hustle and heart speaks to a huge audience in a very profound way. Now, your brand ACES champions this idea of hustle and heart. It's an ethos that's touched millions. How did that philosophy become so central to your story, and what message are you hoping resonates most with people facing adversity?
Sure, I'll have to take a few steps back. I think in life, it's all about purpose and finding your inner peace. So with that, you have to chase your passion and dreams. So before brand aces, there was smoking aces, playing professional basketball. I did the best I could, always had big dreams and ambitions of one day playing in the NBA. It wasn't a straightforward path. It was not linear. Got a chance to play professionally in Kuwait, Italy, Israel, France, the Dominican Republic, got drafted in the NBA G League. I had a couple tryouts with the New York Knicks and Brooklyn Nets, but what really set me apart was playing at Rucker Park up in Harlem. That's where the nickname Smoking Aces came about. If you don't have that storybook Division One career, you have to figure it out somewhere, somehow. So what I did was I used the streets of New York City, especially the legendary EBC Rucker Park. And after one summer of not playing, went back there. So from every racial white nickname you could think of to Nick Lachey to 98 Degrees, I dropped 50 points one game and it went to Smoking Aces. And I remember after I asked the guys why on the mic, I'm like, why Smoking Aces? They said the ace is the best card in the deck, and you were smoking the brothers. So from that moment, it's legendary to me growing up in Cleveland. I knew what playing at that park meant. So that got me on my tryouts in the league. And then from that, I come back that following summer, get my own team, end up leading the Rucker in scoring. First time a person of this stature has done that. And what came with that was shoe deals from And One, K1X, and kind of storytelling throughout New York City, rooted in the origin of Rucker Park. What happened was the day before Summer League 2016, I go back to defend my scoring title. What happens? I rupture my Achilles. So again, setbacks, right? I saw the impact that my story had in basketball. So I dropped Smoking Aces, turned it into Brand Aces, and started building this brand platform backwards in basketball, sports, and music through events, collaborations, and with athletes and major brands. And
Wow,
slowly,
that's amazing. You have an incredible story, but basketball is one of the most popular sports globally with a fan base surpassing 2.5 billion. So yet very few players make it from the streets to the professional courts, especially globally. So you've done a great job, and you've taken your game from Cleveland to Kuwait and from street ball to the NBA D League. What were the key moments that made you realize that basketball could be more than just a game and that it could be a lifelong career and even a way to impact communities on a larger scale?
I think a few things, the people you meet through the game, relationships, networking, connections, and just the disciplines that you meet through the game, right? The daily, grind, working out, keeping your body in shape, physically, spiritually, mentally. It transforms into what I'm doing now. So it's a big ecosystem. And I think it's the biggest marketable sport in the world because, people aren't wearing helmets or hats. So it's the most accessible for any, person up in Harlem, in Cleveland, Ohio, in Miami, or North Dakota. So it's a universal game where anybody can go pick up and play a ball. So I think being blessed to be able to play the game and stay rooted in basketball has been that universal connectivity, which is why ACES, is kind of taken off in the space.
Influencer marketing, let's shift a little bit because that seems to be at the heart of a lot of what you're doing. Especially in sports. So influencer marketing in sports is projected to reach $1.5 billion by 2025, Brian. So it's big business, but authenticity is key, and you seem to capture that with ACES. So you collaborate with iconic athletes and celebrities from PJ Tucker to Justin Bieber. How do you choose partnerships that align with your brand's ethos of hustle and heart? And what's the secret to keeping that authenticity?
Oh, great question. I think the authenticity came to flip from playing basketball. Like I said, the way it was built, it wasn't forced. We didn't pay anybody to ever be a part of our stuff. I think it's number one, people like to play basketball. And number two, I had a lot of personal relations with the athletes. I started rocking the brand slowly over the years from PJ Tucker to Justin Bieber to KD to Sue Bird to Asia Wilson. And once they start seeing what that logo, they may not knew what the brand was when they saw the logo, but they saw the logo everywhere. And then once they saw the storytelling behind it, I think my background, I may have not made it into the NBA, but I think the impact and the platform that we give these athletes to tell their stories is resonating not only with the athletes, but the culture and the space. And most recently, we tapped into music and created a track with Dave East and Mano. So for us to be able to bridge out and reach all pivotal touch points of culture has been special. And, we'll just have to keep this going.
Now, there's an estimated 3.5 million kids playing high school basketball in the U.S., dreaming of going pro, though less than 0.02% make it. Okay, so the odds are stacked. But programs like ACES, Elite Classic, and Hustle Heart, they offer crucial opportunities. And for these young athletes facing staggering odds, how does ACES aim to provide not just a showcase, but also a pathway to something bigger?
It's more than a game. I'm glad you asked that. The ACES Elite Class, which is our McDonald's type All-American game, which is individual All-Stars. And the unique one about that is it's not just seniors like most of these All-American games. It's freshmen to seniors. So a lot of the guys the past few years, like Ian Jackson, Elliot Cadeau, Tahad Pettifor, they were in the game, not even ranked as freshmen. Then they come as sophomores. They're 80th. Juniors, they're 60th. Seniors, they're top 5 in the country. And the cool part about this is when they become McDonald's All-Americans, they come back to ACES because our media reach, our exposure, our streaming deals with Amazon and the NBA app, it just puts these guys in places that they may not have been seen as freshmen. So for them to not only come up this ranks and for ACES to give them a platform, it means a lot, and we'll continue to do so. It's not just about the top guys; it's the underdogs as well. So we think, all spectrums with not only the ACES League Classic, but most recently, which you guys attended, the Hustle and Heart Classic, which features the top teams in the country on the boys and girls side as well.
You are doing something amazing. Now let's look at some statistics. 70% of people say they would buy from a brand they feel aligns with their values. And ACES has created a brand that resonates deeply with values of ambition, resilience, and connectivity. I know for a fact that your brand is built on storytelling. What narrative are you most committed to sharing through ACES, and how does it reflect your personal journey from basketball courts to boardrooms?
No, great question. I think people buy they're related and they connect the story. So if you can tell that in an authentic way, which we have over the years, everyone's like, why didn't you start with apparel, right? Because I'm answering your statistical question. I'm like, let me build the story, let me build the community, let me build the social equity in the marketplace and online. And once people feel that storytelling up there, they want to touch the physical product. So that's why we built this brand platform backwards. Most brands, start with apparel and then go do other stuff. We were like, no, let's build a community, let's build strong IP. Let's create the strong narrative and stay authentic to what we're doing and align with global brand partners. And from then, I think the consumers will buy anything because they really believe in the founder, what the brand and what the product stands for.
And digital sports is on the rise. I mean, consumption is growing at an annual rate of like 20%, and you have platforms like NBA 2K leading the way. So, what does the future hold for the integration of sports culture and digital platforms?
I think keep doing what we're doing, but also accelerate the scale. We're going to raise a round here soon to develop, a stronger, better team as we currently have. I think once you have the brand platform built, it's all about acceleration and scale. So it's being more strategic now, but not resting on what we just did. Right? It's like, hey, we just had a national event. What's next? No, you can't rest. You got to see what's next. So ACES
Right.
will be doing something big with some strategic partners down in Miami for Art Basel. So to your point, celebrate your wins quietly, but keep the foot on the gas because we know the platform that we've been blessed with, and we want to continue to make an impact because we know the reach and we know the impact that it has on people around us.
Yeah, and I think it goes beyond impact and reach because sports fans feel connected to athletes who share their own personal stories, right, of struggles and success. So I think that's also at the heart of it all because you have that connection with your audience. But your journey from overcoming personal loss and career setbacks, I think, resonates so deeply with the average American. So reflecting on this incredible journey of yours, from a boy in Cleveland dealing with hardships to building a brand that connects with millions, what message would you most like to leave for those listening who may be in their own battle right now?
I'd say go back to the inner child. Go back to that childlike faith that you had when you were in fifth grade. Like, what did you write on that piece of paper? Don't tell me it's not possible. If I could do it from a kid who lost his father day before fifth grade, to having a mom go back to school in her 40s to get her degree, to being on food stamps, don't tell me it can't happen. You be the change. You be the person to stop that generational curse in your family if you think that no one else in your family can do it. Because if I can be an inspiration to one person, be like, hey, if Brian Kortovich could do it, I can do it. You got to be relentless. You got to put in the work. You got to work like it depends on you and pray like it depends on God. I'm not someone to shy away from my faith. It's one of the biggest reasons why I'm here. So you got to have faith too. And if you don't, it's not going to happen. So let's just keep it real on that one.
Oh, I love everything you said. Well, we are officially at the end of our time. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, your story of resilience, grit, and the unstoppable drive to turn adversity into opportunity is inspiring. And ACES, my dear, it's a testament to what can be built with hustle and heart. So for those listening, let Brian's journey be a reminder, no matter where you start, the impact you make is defined by the ambition and authenticity you bring along the way. Brian, thank you so much.
Zen, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Until next time, keep striving, keep dreaming, and stay hydrated with heart. This is Zen Sams on A Moment of Zen, signing off on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. Definitely check out Brian on the gram at Smokin' Aces #1. And you could head to brandaces.com and definitely check out ACES on Instagram at ACES, ACES. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.